Here we go, guys. Training log number 1. So, deadlift day today. I get my first little warm up set in here. I always start off at 245. I don't have an elaborate warm up. I just kind of start lifting. I feel really good right now, so that's kind of how things go for me. I don't throw anything fancy in unless I have to. And then this is the reality of training in your basement gym. At times, we're in the middle of the pandemic right now, but this is my little one Max, and she comes around the corner and she wants to get involved. She and my older daughter JoJo really actually enjoy hanging out with us while we train. So she runs and wants to grab the barbell and get a couple tugs. She's standing on it's a deficit pull day today. I need to work up to a heavy single, so she jumps up on the plates and starts pointing at stuff. And then, of course, I think we bring over her little barbell here. Yeah, here it is. And she starts to do her own little thing. It's cool, man. I'm blessed to have great family support and kids that really enjoy hanging out with us. So, but that's the reality of it. You got them on top of you all the time. Go to 335 here. Hips are getting a little behind me quick on some of these pulls. I take a few more singles here to kind of warm up, but you can see the hips sweeping back a little bit off the block. I need to stay a little bit better in my legs here. So you see me, I went 335 for a couple singles. This is 425 for a couple singles. That's a little better right there, where I'm actually staying in the legs a little bit longer. And then I do switch to putting grips on. So that's 515 right there. I pull hook grip. I haven't had a problem with, that was much better staying in my legs that time. I haven't had a problem with grip in a while, but pulling hook, I tear my thumbs up. So that's one thing. I've tried the whole your hands will get tougher and you'll acclimate to it and get better, and it just never really worked out for me. My thumbs were just raw all the time, and it actually took a lot of the training volume away. So then, of course, both my kids get involved here. JoJo comes over and tries to show Max how to do this, and they both take a tug at 515. A little group pull there. Go to 605. I wasn't feeling great, but after those multiple singles, I started feeling a little bit better. And this one was a pretty good rep for me. This is the first week of this in my block right now. Kevin Can's my coach. I think a lot of you guys know that already. But that felt pretty good. And this is my youngest sitting next to me and telling me, "Daddy, you got to go up." She grabs a plate and tries to slide it on, and then pulls the clip off and gets me to do more. So I end up going up to 625. This is another single at 605. I wanted to really kind of feel this out a little bit better. No, I did 625. Sorry, I put 10s on each side. And again, staying in my legs a little bit better here as I got a little bit more warmed up. And there she goes again, telling me to go up again. This time she actually pulls the clip all the way off. She's starting to figure out how to load bars and figure out the clips. But I was pretty happy with this day. This is my first block with deficit pulls in here in a while. Open Nationals got moved, so we backed off from some of the stuff in the equipment. This is 655. I've pulled 685 from a deficit, but not in a first block, not in the first week of a block like this, so it's trending really well. No hitch or anything. Definitely needed those grips to probably keep through that pull the entire time. But pretty good. Then I move on to speed bench. We're going wide grip speed bench here. I run right into it. You can actually see me trying to move the bar as explosively as possible. You see my back come right off the bench. I add red minis. Kind of same thing. The only thing they really do there is keep my back on the bench. Go up to 135 with the reds. And this is supposed to be about 55%. And the key here is for me to accelerate the bar as fast as possible. Go to 225 with the reds, and I end up working up to 275 with the reds. And it ends up being 9 sets of 3 here with 45 seconds rest. So you'll see me kind of rip through these pretty quickly here. Obviously, bar velocity drops from the warm-up. Of course, again, a reality of training with kids. Max is on top of me, and then the cool thing about my kids is they do want to kind of figure this stuff out. So that's one of the first things I get a little high five from her. But she constantly wants to lay flat on the bench or lay on me and try to push the bar or figure that kind of stuff out. So it is a super rewarding process to have your kids involved here. We just go through a couple motions and then I get back into it. With the speed bench, we're looking to maintain position as best as possible, maintain leg drive, and create as much velocity as you possibly can. There's multiple ways to get through sticking points, but building speed in the bench is another great way to do it. A lot of people have that kind of mid-range sticking point. And working on your speed so you can blow past that sticking point through accelerating off your chest is a good option a lot of the times. Adding some of that band resistance can kind of add that accommodating resistance at the top. Yes, very much a West Side type principle, but I have found it to work relatively well for my bench press. I tracked all these. I don't have a fancy bar velocity meter or anything like that. I use an app called BarSense. So you'll see that come up here towards the end just to track my first and last set bar velocity. And I believe this is the last set here. And that's probably one of my best sets right there. Oh, no, I still have two more. Oh, goodness gracious. I was off big time on that. The big thing I like to see with these as well through 9 sets with limited rest is my ability to maintain my position. So most of these look relatively consistent. I'm not losing position from rep to rep. And then you can see I'm at 1.17 meters per second on my first set, 1.13 on my last set. So that's really not that bad. Accessories were stiff leg sumo deadlifts for sets of 4. This is 425. It's supposed to be an RPE 8. These were a little lighter than that, but I don't really have a whole lot of availability of plates in the basement. So finished it off with some triceps and inverted rows. And overall, it was a pretty good training day. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'd be happy to answer anything you need.